It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
And so, when you decided to start investing in real estate, what was your mentality like? Were you still were you nervous as most people were, or were you like, my family has done this in some aspect for so many years, so I have some level of like confidence to take this step? Like, did that impact you at all when it came to investing in real estate?
No, it didn't. So because I had seen it for so long, I wasn't afraid. Plus, Philly is cheap. The 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 very first house that I bought up, the only house I ever foreclosed on was that one. But otherwise, I'm buying a house for 18, 20,000. So it's no, it wasn't scary to buy a house for 18 grand. I could pay for that. But however, so no, it wasn't scary at all.
Definitely, definitely. So talk to us about just that first deal when you decided, all right, I want to invest in real estate. I want to use this as one of my ways to build wealth. What was that experience like for you?
So the very first one that I bought was a rooming house, and I did the deal, and I was actually dead broke because I was a mortgage banker I was a mortgage broker, then mortgage banker, and then in '08 I kind of lost everything,
Mhm.
and in that time period, like everything was bad. Lost my business, lost everything, and so I did that deal, and the way I did the deal, I ended up walking away with some money, and so that gave me my opportunity to kind of come back and get on my feet. My license was suspended, so I had to pay to get my license back. So I could move after I had that property, and it's a 3-story house, and I ended up putting 8 bedrooms in it. So I'm making money hand over fist out of that place. I mean, super slumlord, super slumlord. Like it was bad. It was a terrible place. I'm embarrassed I even owned it, but it got me, over the hump. So, that was my first taste of cash flow, was really that property.
Definitely,
But it was tough, man. It was a bad place.
definitely, definitely. So you took kind of a unique route, right? It sounds like you just rented out room by room, right?
Right. Each room, yeah.
So talk to us more about that decision. I think you also said you ended up making it an 8 bedroom. Why did you go that route versus like, renting out to like a family or something?
So what happened is a friend of mine had the house and he was losing it. And so I ended up partnering with him, did the deal, we're renting the rooms out making money. Then I was like, listen, how about this? Let me just buy you out. And that was the deal. I ended up just buying him out and taking it over. And when I took him out, I added 2 more bedrooms to the first floor. First floor was just like an open living room. And so I added 2 more bedrooms down there. So if we do the math on that, so the mortgage on it was about like 950 or something like that a month. And so in the third floor, in the front bedroom, I was getting $100, middle bedroom 75, back bedroom 50. Second floor, I was getting $100 in the first bedroom, 75 in the middle, 150 for the back bedroom, was a double room. Then the first floor, I was getting 125 for the front room and 150 for the second room because they had a half bath. So I'm making a lot of money out of this place. And when I bought it, the utilities weren't all the way connected in the right way. So I didn't have a utility bill. I did like no water, no electricity. I had to pay oil. It's an oil heater. I had to pay
Mhm.
oil to heat the property up. But so I'm just killing it for a minute. I was getting busy at that one. I'm making thousands of dollars a month off that one property. So I was like, man, this is great until it wasn't. I'm saying so it went bad because I actually worked. I ended up getting a job in public housing. And so the projects I worked at was like 3 or 4 blocks away. So I could easily manage, I could run over, collect rent, what I gotta do, get back to work. Lunch break or not, it didn't matter. I could just run out, and come back. But it was very dangerous block, man. I was like food because come out there, it's like, the guys hustling outside. They knew I was collecting money. So every time I come out, I'm a target. I got
Mhm.
thousands of dollars in my pocket in the middle of North Philly somewhere on a back block that's dark, so it was just and then it was a home invasion, there was a bunch of stuff going on over there.
Mhm.
They got into a fight with the neighborhood and the neighborhood stole the door. I'm like, yo, how did the neighborhood steal your door off the
A
house?
door?
They stole the front door. Stole the front door.
Wow.
neighborhood, it's that kind of neighborhood I was in. And then I actually had my kid, and my risk tolerance went down, and I moved. They transferred me to a different site, all the way across in Southwest Philly called Bartram Village. And that commute, I couldn't manage it, and it's got to be a lot. It got to be a lot, and I ended up just letting it go.
Got it. Makes sense. Makes sense. So so it sounds like you definitely had your hands full and had quite a few experiences with that particular property. So how did you rebound after that? What came next after that?
So I just kept buying, man. Even after the foreclosure, I had to do my wife's name, my name. We had to figure it out. I still kept, buying properties. I wasn't really flipping a lot. I mean, I would buy a rental and I wouldn't flip per se. I would like a year or some change, maybe sell it and, kind of upgrade. Because in my job, I was only making when I first started, 405 a week, 401 a week actually when I first started. And then I got a raise like in 6 months to like 454 a week. Then it went to like 510. So I wasn't making a lot of money. So I couldn't like really leverage a whole lot, and buy more. And the crazy thing, man, is where I was at Bloomberg Apartments, for those from Philly that knows, at 23rd and Jefferson. Somebody offered me a house across the street from the projects when I worked there for $7,000. A 3-story house is like $7,000. And I didn't. Well, I said no because there's a lot of murder down there, really bad, and I didn't trust it. And then the house needed work, and I couldn't even figure out how to get 7,000. That house was demolished now, but if it was still there, easy $500,000, easy $500,000.
Wow,
easy. I'm probably, and if it was zone multifamily, 650.
wow.
I don't know what the zone it was when I had it, but $7,000. I could have bought it the whole block. Like they were giving houses away around there. Nobody wanted them.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad, But now, in a matter of less than 10 years later, crazy.
Are you looking for a community of like-minded individuals and access to experts in real estate?
Yeah.
Are you interested in real estate but need more support and guidance?
You know who it is?
The Black Real Estate Dialogue presents the Real Estate Investing Community. No matter how much or how little real estate experience you have, we've created a community for you because your perspective is important. All right, tell me, where's the #1 place where you can do Q&A with experienced guest speakers 2 times per month? How about unlimited access to past guest speakers' recordings? What about a private Slack channel to engage in daily discussion with everybody in the community to share resources and support each other? Head on over to blackrealestatedialogue.com. That's blackrealestatedialogue.com. It's the real estate investing community presented by the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Come join us today.
So what was it that, so you saw that, right? You saw some aspect of the real estate business, properties, rehabs, and things of that nature. But what was it for you individually that was like, you come to a certain point and you're like, all right, I want to invest in real estate now. I want to use this as one of the ways I'm going to build wealth. What was that moment for you?
What a moment for me was when it was time to get paid, man. We would be, me and Pops, we in there getting it in, we working for someone, right? It wasn't our properties that we owned. While we did work on a couple of properties that we owned, family properties, and we had a couple rental properties, the majority of the properties were owned by other individuals. One person in particular was an older gentleman that he was working for primarily and doing a lot of bulk work for him, turning units and doing full gut renovations. And I'm like, man, like, I want to be like that. I want to be cutting the checks. You know what I mean? I want to be receiving the rent rolls and everything. And, I'm calculating. I'm like, man, Dad, we just turned like 5 units over this past couple of weeks. Like he's getting like, this is back when people were doing a lot more rooming houses and stuff like that in certain areas of Philly. I'm like, man, he getting $400 or $500 per room. It's like 10 rooms in this house. I'm like, yo, like, oh man, hold up. Like, and then we doing 6 or 7 houses just like this. And then he got other houses all over the city. I'm like, I want to be on that side. So I was I was always pretty direct and outspoken. So I'm like, I'm right at his neck, like, look, I want to be doing that. How can I do it? And he actually introduced me to a book that, a lot of people start out and invest in, was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I did the Spark Notes. I don't know if anybody remember the Spark Notes.
I remember Spark Notes.
yeah. Ask Jeeves and all that. I went through and just got the highlights, you know what I mean? But the concept of it is what resonated with me. And I said, okay, all right, I want to be a real estate investor. So I made that decision early on, like 16, 17. And, it didn't happen right away. I went away to college, ended up leaving Philly and getting a full scholarship to go away to college and down south. So I was going away from the market that I was interested in. But man, I went away to college to study education, another passion of mine, and actually went through the whole motions of going through college and everything. But in the back of my mind, it was always real estate, man. And, I was able to put some things together, put strategies together to be able to buy my first one, essentially as a graduation gift to myself, at the end of my senior year of college. And, but still simultaneously working my day job as an educator. And the rest is history, man.
Amazing. Where'd you go to school?
I went to undergrad at Virginia State University. Shout out to the HBCUs, go Trojans, Big Blue.
Cool.
And I did some graduate school. I'm a grad school dropout. I went to Virginia Commonwealth University, VCU, up in Richmond, Virginia. But VSU is home.
Got you. Dope, man. Dope. So you mentioned that your first property was a graduation gift to yourself. So can you tell us more about that and just what went into making that happen at such a young age?
Yeah, bro. So I got to start back at the beginning again with my dad. When I went away to college, 18, he always has like a great way of giving advice without a bunch of details. So he was like, yeah, you need to get a credit card. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go get some credit cards and stuff like that. And, for me, the basic concepts are just like paying what you owe just came natural. I don't know, like nobody told me like, oh, don't, make sure you pay your bills and stuff like that. It was just like, exposure to coming up in Philly, whatever it was. The concept of paying what you owe just resonated with me. So getting the credit card was nothing, right? So I got the credit cards, and what I basically would do is just, I'm running it up on the credit card and paying it down. I'm paying it down with refund checks and stuff like that. Every time that time of the semester is coming along, and then fast forward to my senior year, I'm aggressively now looking for houses. I'm also working a full-time job as I'm segueing out of my senior year. And I ended up picking up a second job overnight. I'm grinding. I'm like, I have a goal in mind of saving up a certain amount of money, because at the time, the other advice that I was being given by my family around me and the people in my circle was like, you got to buy the property cash. So I'm literally like hustling to get all this money up to buy my first property, and was successful in doing so. But I then ran into a roadblock where I only had the money to buy the property, but it needed to be renovated. So then, just one night on a humbug, I applied for a personal loan, which I was able to be automatically approved for because of the credit that I had been establishing all throughout college, unintentionally. And I took that money and renovated the property. Still wasn't enough. I had to start investing more into my education. At that time, it wasn't as much as a monetary investment. It was more of a time investment. A lot of YouTube, a lot of Google, books, and, just trying to get the knowledge as much as possible. 2012, 2013, 2014, the information wasn't on everybody's Instagram feed like it is right now. Like people wasn't, offering courses and mentorships and things like that. So it was super hard. People you hit up and asking for advice, they wasn't getting back to you and sending you a link in their bio, you know what I mean? So I had to figure it out. And, as I figured it out, I met people along the way, of course, who was able to give me some help along the way. And once I got the formula, man, I've been rinse, washing, and repeating it ever since. I always tell everybody that I'm still in present 2021, 2022, buying properties from the first one that I bought back in 2013.
Hi everyone, Sam here from the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Make sure to hit that notification bell and that subscribe button and to visit us at blackrealestatedialogue.com.